Hey everyone, welcome to the Pandora Theater, Super Bowl edition. I'm Clint Chaffer.
And I'm Chad Weeks, and we're a couple guys who like to talk about movies and apparently sports.
Yeah, every now and then.
Yeah, we dabble. We like to dabble. Yeah. So I feel like I should reintroduce myself. I am Chad Weeks, the 2021 fantasy football champion.
Here we go.
Of the Gridiron Cosa Nostra. I played Clint in the championship this year. We've been at this for like 15 years, and I beat my best friend Clint in the championship game of the Super Bowl of the fantasy football Super Bowl this year. So got myself a commemorative ring. Yeah, so I officially have my rings up to one now. $25 on Amazon if you'd like to get one for yourself. But
I'm just happy and lucky that my name is already on that trophy.
Yeah. Yours was on there. Yours was on there a long time. Like I said, 15 years. Yours. I'm due, man. I'm due.
All right. Well, nobody wants to hear about our fantasy
Nobody
football,
wants to hear
let alone your championship gloating.
Yes,
so
exactly.
nobody wants to hear this. Yeah. All right. Hey, let's talk about Super Bowl 55 coming up this Sunday.
Yep. Okay. So Super Bowl. Who? First off, who's your pick?
So I'm a little bit torn. I actually like both teams. In reality, you know me. I'm a player fan. I'm not really a team fan by any means. I would love to see Tom Brady win another one just because I think what that guy does is just awesome. But in the same sense, I love Patrick Mahomes. Like Patrick Mahomes is probably one of the most fun players, right next to Josh Allen in the NFL right now.
I appreciate putting Josh Allen in that category too.
I do. Those two guys just have fun playing football.
They really do. I feel like the Buffalo Bills, their whole team, there's just a chemistry there. They nobody's having more fun than the Buffalo Bills this season. So I appreciate you mentioning that, and I love watching them play. But I like the fact you pointed out you like both teams, but and their second Super Bowls for Patrick Mahomes, multiple for Tom Brady, and you just don't feel bad for either one of these guys. You don't have like a Drew Brees that's like, man, he needs to get one of these here because Pat Mahomes is going to be back. Tom Brady he's got plenty. He can retire this year and it's not going to affect him. So there's nobody that you really want to win as an underdog style here.
Who is the underdog? I mean, Tampa? Tampa would have to be the underdog, right?
I would think that Tampa would be the underdog. I would think that Kansas City would have to be the favorite. But, I mean, personally, if you're going to make a bet, I'm going to go Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks because you can't count out Tom Brady. And I also, like I said, I think that they're going to run it down their throats. I know that Kansas City has a high-octane offense, and there's a lot of players that can really stretch the field. And I learned last week I didn't think that Tyreek Hill would be as much of a problem because I am such a big fan of Trey Day White, and I thought that he could shut him down with some safety over the help with one of the most underrated safety tandems in the NFL with Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. I just really thought they'd shut down Tyreek Hill. They did not, and he ran pretty wild on him.
The speed of that man, dude.
Yeah, you just can't.
Just so fast.
You can game plan for it, but until you actually see that guy out on the field, there's nothing you can do about it. Like he's just so much faster than everybody else.
Well, that's what's so interesting about this game in particular, right? These two teams. You talk about a high-octane offense of the Chiefs, and they are. I mean, you got, I think, probably the fastest team in the NFL when you look at wide receivers. Yeah. Tyreek Hill. You got Sammy Watkins would probably be the slow guy on the team, actually. Yeah. And then you got Robinson, and you have McCole Hardman, right? I mean, those guys can stretch the field on you. And then you have the best tight end in the league today with Travis Kelce. I mean, it's absolutely awesome for their offense.
Yep, absolutely. And you say Sammy Watkins is a slow man on the team, and that's blasphemous because the guy, I think he's got a 4.340. Like that's crazy that you're talking about.
But it's probably true.
I bet it is because, like I said, Tyreek Hill just freakishly out of this world fast. Anyway,
and their running backs too aren't anything to snub either. I mean, you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and then you have Le'Veon Bell, which I mean, you get Bell moving in the right direction, and he can do some damage as well. So,
absolutely.
And then you got Patrick Mahomes with his legs. So.
Yep. So that's why I'm saying the Tampa Brady's are going to want to slow the ball down. They're going to want to control the ball the whole game and keep that high octane offense off the field. So I'm thinking they're going to have Leonard Fournette just pounding it down their throat the entire game. I'm saying Leonard Fournette could get 150 yards this game.
So you're saying, though, a low-scoring game between the two.
Low-scoring game between the two. A lot of running, a lot of short passes. I think that Tom Brady's going to inevitably take a few shots just because, sometimes he's got to show off a little bit. But I think that it's going to be a slow-paced game. And if Tampa Bay wins, if Kansas City wins, I think it could be 45-30 or something like that. Because if they get to rolling, you're done.
Yeah,
they're not going to come back on them like they did against the Falcons that year, the 28-3 game.
Oh, you had to bring that up as I'm sitting here wearing my Julio Jones jersey, man.
Did, yeah.
Well, I tell you what, like I said, in this household, we're going to be rooting for Tom Brady. You, of course, know my boy Devin.
Yep.
He's a diehard Tom Brady guy. You just traded him a Rob Gronkowski card, signed Rob Gronkowski card, for a signed Stephon Diggs card.
Yeah.
So, again, he's been a huge fan of the Patriots with those two guys, and now he's, of course, watching him do the same thing in Tampa Bay. So we will be cheering for Tampa, but, again, man, I could see it go either way.
Yeah. Which is a cool thing. I enjoyed trading with your boy because of the fact that you and I used to trade basketball cards back in sixth grade and stuff like that. I was trading getting Charles Barkley and trading all my Anthony Hardaways to Clint here because he was an Anthony Hardaway fan. I was a Charles Barkley
chose
fan.
the wrong one there, didn't I?
Honestly, I don't know what the value would be anymore, but I know that. Anthony Hardaway, he's the coach for Memphis right now, so he's still relevant. He's just
he was such a fun player back in the day.
Yeah.
But the other thing too, we can't just talk about the Chiefs offense without talking about Tampa Bay's offense either. You want to talk about a wide receiver core.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I talk about slowing it down. I'm talking about slowing it down. And I'm not an NFL coach, so maybe they're going to go out and just air it out because why wouldn't you? If the worst receiver on your roster is Scotty Miller, who's had a bang up year, and you've got a guy like Antonio Brown in the slot, and then you got the two guys, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Like that's an incredible.
Absolutely amazing.
I'm not even mentioning Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah.
So why would you slow it down? I don't know. I just feel like you kind of got to, but
it's crazy when you look at both of these offenses, right? And then of course you got Ronald Jones and you got Leonard Fournette in the backfield again. Pretty decent running backs, So it's like I don't know. This could be a really interesting game for scoring wise.
Yeah, it'll just be interesting to see what type of plans the coaches have, like what their ideals are going to be. What do they want to do? What are they trying to do? And I'm sure we'll know pretty early what we're going to do. And I bet you that at halftime, you're going to see a different team come out there for both offenses. So you know what I mean? Like I think that you're going to see a big adjustments at halftime and that nice long halftime for a change, because I think that you're going to have to adjust to whatever the other team's doing. I don't know. I'm really excited to see. I think there's going to be a good coaching battle here going on as well. So that's a cool thing to look at.
Well, so we talked about halftime, coming out at halftime. Yeah. But let's look at the talent that they're bringing in for performers here.
Yes.
So
you said halftime, and I got excited. But honestly, I couldn't care less about the halftime because the weekend, does nothing for me. I don't know anything about them. But what do you think about the weekend? What's your
Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed the music. This the blinding lights or whatever that's playing all these Pepsi commercials. I love the 80s intro to it. He seems like he's just full of energy. I think he's going to bring a Prince kind of feel, like somebody that's high energy and high octane. I think that's the kind of performance that we're going to get.
Yeah.
And he's just crazy enough and weird enough that I think he's going to catch us off guard with a few things.
Yeah, I hope so. I always enjoy the halftime show, and I look forward to that as well.
I'm just happy it's not another band from 1965.
Yeah.
I'm happy at least we're bringing.
They've been bringing modern bands here for a while. I guess when was Prince on there? Been a while anyway, but that's a big comparison there.
I'm not saying I'm just saying energy, octane, things of that nature. He seems like he'd do a great job.
Yeah, but the part that I am excited about is the national anthem.
Oh yeah.
You've heard him sing the Amazing Grace because we saw him in concert at the Mark or the iWireless or whatever. So he comes out and sings Amazing Grace, and it's just him in a spotlight, just belting it out there. And it gives me chills thinking about that rendition of Amazing Grace. So I can't wait to hear him do the national anthem on that big of a stage.
He's doing it with another gal, Jasmine Sullivan, as well. So I think it's going to be pretty cool for a duet there.
Which I don't know if Jasmine Sullivan's the gal that he normally sings with, but like he's got a gal that sings backup vocals for him on a lot of his songs, and you can hear her back there. It's not real in your face, but it's a great aspect of his music. He's had a lot of backup, so I don't know if that's going to be her or if it's going to be somebody else, but it definitely adds something to his vocals.
Yeah,
so.
Eric Church singing the national anthem is a great way to kick this thing off.
Yeah,
so.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Now the big matchup too that I'm also excited about, and I got to throw out here. I mean, it's going to be Antonio Brown versus Le'Veon Bell. So I mean, we get the battle of the old rundown Steelers.
Yeah. So I didn't even think about that. You mentioned it before we did this. I never would have even considered the fact that it's Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, which when the Steelers got real dysfunctional, it had to be that season, I would think. I mean,
when they all departed.
I think it was that part of the season or that year where they all just suddenly got real dysfunctional, and they went from one of the best offenses in the NFL to they went 13-0 this year until
until they totally imploded.
Until they totally just fell apart and barely won any games the rest of the season.
Well, hey, I think the other exciting thing is what's coming the day after the Super Bowl.
What's coming the day after the Super Bowl?
Day after the Super Bowl, we're going to release another episode of the Pandora Theater talking about the greatest football movies that we think the movies that we think are the greatest football movies.
Yeah, so if you got a little bit of time now, if you want to mention in the comments or something like that, talk about some movies that we should have on the list that we should mention. I know that there's some that I am dead set on. I bet I could probably predict some of the movies that you're going to come out with, and probably likewise here. But I just know that we've talked about movies enough that I know your flavor on a few of these. So yeah, I'm really excited about that one. That's going to be a real fun one. And you said day after
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so perfect way to celebrate that Super Bowl hangover. You got no football until
you probably took work off.
Yeah, I definitely took work off.
So you sit back and you watch another episode.
Yeah, absolutely. Then you can we'll remind you of all those great football movies that you love, and you can pop one in and watch
probably a few that you forgot were even football movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
A few on there. So, well, hey, with that, the credits are rolling.
The lights are coming on.
That's the end of the show.